Yes, indeed, folks. We are tuned into Blue Please. All of us, every single one of us, on WoW Radio with myself, Total Biscuit, and we are running short on time, so let's get it on! The illusion of choice! Well, you get to pick the last topic of the show, and I've got one that I quite like here. It's related to WoW. So, yeah. Comes from Richard Danu, and he says this: as you have recently talked about often on Blue Please, you yourself are getting tired of raiding in the new game content. This is the main case for you, as I know it's a lot of people. It's beginning to affect myself as well. Then what are you doing other than WoW? EVE is a big one, and you've talked about it before, but do you not think that EVE in itself can get even as boring as these new raiding counters? So for the main part of this, what do you do with your game time if you're not on WoW or EVE? Well, first I'd like to address the whole EVE thing. Actually, yes, EVE can get really boring really fast. The problem with EVE, and this is also its strength, is that if you're not involved in basically pissing off other players, then you're not having fun in the game. The questing in EVE absolutely sucks. Oh god. There's a little bit of coolness there, but here's how it goes, right? Questing in EVE is a binary state. Either you are alive or you are dead, yeah? And whether or not you're alive or dead depends entirely on how you set up your character to begin with. If you set up your ship correctly, then you will never die. Yeah? You can be in a state where you basically constantly self-heal to the point where all of the enemies you're killing do not have enough DPS to down you. Yeah? Alternatively, if you didn't set yourself up that way, then you get killed and you lose your ship or whatever. Or if you're lucky, you manage to get out before that happens. End up paying repair costs or whatever. EVE is about static content. It's not about static content at all. Static content is really terrible. It's about dynamic content. It's about making war with other people and about making your own enjoyment out of a world that changes constantly on a day-to-day basis. WoW isn't like that. WoW's got all of these cool things that you can do, and it's very preset as to how you have fun. They're both different kinds of games. Now, here's the thing. I don't just play MMOs. In fact, actually, MMOs are the minority of my gaming time, and what I don't really understand is people that just play WoW and that's all they play. Like, oh, I just play WoW. Like, how exactly? I can't imagine. I mean, for instance, I went into town today. It was Friday, you know, I was being frugal all week, and I get myself a treat on Fridays. I decided to buy some games for the PSP, because the PSP in this country is very much a dying format, and the games are really cheap, which is very cool. Thankfully, of course, the PSP will hopefully get back on its feet after they release the new one, and everything goes digital distribution, which I am looking forward to. Good lord, I'm looking forward to that. That's great. What a great idea. Now, you can bring the development costs down, you can increase your revenue, and you can get your games instantly. Yeah, without having to worry about going to a shop for it or whatever. Digital distribution is cool, and the PlayStation Network, which is what the PSP uses, is very good with that. It works. And it's free, which is always nice. But yeah, I got myself some PSP games because I play a lot of other games that aren't WoW. And indeed, for the last few years or so, all I've really been doing in WoW is logging in for raids, and then the rest of my game time is spent doing entirely other things. And I can't figure out the people that don't do that. I can't understand it. I don't know, maybe it's just a different strokes for different folks kind of situation. But for me, to enjoy WoW, I've got to be playing all of this other stuff, because it complements it nicely. A single-player RPG plays differently to a MMORPG. And of course, all these other types of games. There are standard multiplayer games like Team Fortress 2, Left 4 Dead, Killing Floor, that kind of thing. There are also massively multiplayer games, and they also play differently. You might think that the only difference is a few extra thousand players, but that's not true at all. The mechanics are entirely different, and multiplayer games are always going to be massively different to massively multiplayer games. Now, what I would encourage everyone to do is, if you don't play a lot of other games, then you're probably going to burn out on WoW sooner than you might want to. And indeed, you might end up resenting WoW more than you should. To me, WoW is a nice complement to the games that I usually play. It's not the other way around. I don't play games to complement WoW. I play WoW to complement my other games. Because I'm a gamer at heart, and I play lots of games, and my Steam collection is Xbox huge, and my Xbox collection is Xbox huge, and my PSP collection is Xbox huge, and I like playing all of those games, and I will continue to like playing all those games. I like playing new games. There's nothing wrong with that. Go play some other Blizzard games. Go try Diablo. Go play some Titan Quest, which is not a Blizzard game, but it's still very good. There's all sorts of things out there. I don't think people should narrow their horizons so much by just playing a single game. as they will end up getting sick of it, and then they're not going to have any idea what to do. You get sick of it quicker if that's all you do. So yeah, that's a simple answer to that question, to be honest, since we are rapidly running out of time. I'd like to thank everyone for listening today. It's been a very enjoyable show for me. Very introspective. A lot of thoughts, a lot of cool ideas that I hope Blizzard has actually heard. It's always nice to be positive and grow some innovation from our bad experiences with the game, as opposed to our good. It's shout-out time, folks, so email themurloc@gmail.com. That is themurloc@gmail.com, or you can tweet me at twitter.com/saltbiscuit, or get on IRC. That's irc.MMOIRC.com. Hash or pound WoW Radio. Click the chat button at the top of the screen on WCRadio.com. Get your shout-outs in for the last few minutes of the show, folks, and remember, we're doing the donation. Yes, we are. We are raising lots of money for people to go to BlizzCon with and get equipment and upgrade our servers and all that other good stuff. And who knows? The more money we raise, we might be getting some more cool giveaways. And speaking of cool giveaways, the WoW Idol semi-final airing tomorrow. Yes, indeed. There will be an EU and US friendly times for it. The EU friendly time will be at 1800 BST, that's British Standard Time, or British Summer Time, whichever you prefer. And that's at 1 o'clock in the afternoon EST. And there will be another showing at 6 p.m. BST. No, that's not right. 6 p.m. EST, which is 11 p.m. BST. Two showings will both be exactly the same. So, if you want to tune in and listen to what we've got from the WoW Idol contest, we've got loads of really good songs, and lots of ones that we will no doubt be bashing horribly. Then you'll want to tune into that show. It is going to be an absolute blinder. Totally, you cannot miss this in a million years, and if you do, then, well, exterminatus and fire on you and your household. So yes, tune into that on WCRadio.com tomorrow. Shout-out time, folks. A shout-out to Sumpwa on Proudmoore, US for yelling for the Horde at my high school graduation. Oh dear. A shout-out to Dunkor. Happy birthday, Mr. President. I'm not singing that. That's from the Elite Hacksaw. Can I have a shout-out to Corticus, amazing druid of Dragonmoor, Iron Bob, an old friend from Dragonmoor, and a shout-out to Dawnsong, my Age of Conan guild. That's from the Limus. People still play that? That actually kind of surprises me. A shout-out to Evanis, to Relentless on Sisters of Balloon, Stop Dying, Solarin, I Can't Drink Any More Shots. A shout-out to Insidia for downing Algernon 25, man. Well done, well done. And that's from Intricacy, well done indeed. Nerf Dance Zombies, that's from Ragavale, Doomhammer EU. Someone's been playing PvZ a little bit too much, perhaps. Who knows? Now, we've got a shout-out here. Can I get a shout-out to everyone in Devil's Rejects on Ice Crown US from Schmers, and Bayangan is the bomb. Also, happy birthday to me yesterday. Yay 18, bottle shop, here I come. Yes, your priorities are clearly in order. Can I get a small shout-out? No, you may not. You may have a standard-sized shout-out. We don't do small here. Or you can go large for an extra 40 pence. Resonance for getting XT002 10-man hard mode down and going back in today to attempt some others. Can I also get an epic drop-in? Yes, I did just say. Epic. There you go. Love the show, keep up the good work. That's from LeSherm, level 80, Tauren Druid from Resonance on Argos, US. Hi, can I get a quick shout out to Timaeus? Yes, that is actually right. Timaeus, I suppose. Timaeus for doing 3 Ulduar 10-man hard modes. That's from Hornshade. Shout out to Team Murloc, the only team you need. That's from Gnomewise. I can think of a few people that might disagree with that. Let's check the Twitter sphere. That's a terrible name for anything, by the way. I didn't like Blogosphere. The Twitter sphere is even worse. Can I get a shout out to Sons of Horus on Anvilmar US? That's from the Hatfield. Well, yes, you can. And ladies and gentlemen, I am done. Thank you for listening to my show. Go check out the other shows on WCRadio.com. The next show to air will, of course, be the Mighty WoW Things Considered. At 7 p.m. EST tonight, that is midnight, British Standard Time, on WCRadio.com. Check out the rest of our shows on iTunes. You can rate and review us, and indeed, you can now recommend us to a friend. And we would very much appreciate that if you were to do so. I'm out of here, folks. I've been Total Biscuit. This has been Blue Please. And you have been... Good night.